C'est l'histoire d'un homme qui tombe d'un immeuble de 50 étages. Le mec, au fur et à mesure de sa chute, il se répète sans cesse pour se rassurer. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Mais l'important, c'est pas la chute. C'est l'atterrissage.
Marxist theory. When thinking about it, it can be a little confusing. A textbook definition may say that Marxism was conceived as a theory attempting to explain and expose power relations in a capitalist society. There are three common words tossed around generally in this area: Marxism, socialism, and communism. For this video, we'll specifically be looking at Marxism. There were two very important men in Argentina that broke down cinema into three types: Fernando Solanas and Octavio Gentino. They divide cinema into three types. First cinema, which is commercial filmmaking typically produced in Hollywood, reinforcing bourgeois values, and it's concerned with spectacle, entertainment, positions the viewer as a passive observer. The second type is second cinema. This would be associated with art house filmmaking, typically European, and the emphasis is on director as an auteur, or kind of the master behind everything. It challenges the conventions of Hollywood filmmaking, and directors are still forced to deal with or work within the same kind of commercial capitalist system. Third cinema directly opposes the hegemonic and political studio system. Solanas and Gentino refer to it as making films that the system cannot assimilate and which are foreign to its needs, or making films that directly set out to fight the system. When thinking of third cinema, one might think of the movie La Haine, directed by Mathieu Kassovitz in 1995. La Haine is a gritty, unsettling, and visually explosive look at the racial and cultural violence in modern-day France. The film follows three friends, Vince, Hubert, and Said. The three give human faces to France's immigrant population and shows their resentment and anger that builds up towards the oppressive factors in their lives.
Ils ont laissé un passage, ils ont laissé passer des civils, tu vois, avec genre des manches de pioche et tout. Ils ont commencé. Attends, tu vois le petit JB là? Putain, il s'est fait péter grave, je te jure. Une fois, deux fois, la troisième fois, on nous a déchirés. Paf, coup de tête balayette. Putain, je t'en ai fumé un, le bâtard de sa mère, je te jure.
When thinking about Marxism in context of film theory, we should really be talking about representation. There are 5 types of Marxism that can be spotted in films. The first of those is classism. Classism is dealing with representations of, you guessed it, human beings and their value being contingent on their social class. People at the top are superior to those at the bottom. When discussing class, we mean 3 different kinds: lower, middle, and upper. The second type of Marxism seen in film is patriotism. Now, patriotism is an ideology that keeps 2 factions or nations at war. Mainly we're referring to the poor people of 2 different nations that are constantly being inspired by the ruling order to keep on fighting, often at the economic gain of the ruling class. The rich ruling classes profit the most from these situations, while the poor fight and lose the most. This type, for example, could be seen in popular war films. The third is religion. Religion is an ideology that deals with suppression and complacency. This type keeps the poorer classes comfortable in a worse situation compared to the higher classes. In terms of this study, it is more an idea of what an individual may do in a God figure's name. It encourages the poor to be satisfied and tolerant of their class situation.
Les cow-boys, tu vois. Prends l'assaut et tu la pêches au lasso. Quoi, qu'est-ce que tu veux, toi? Vas-y, moi aussi, mon père il est en prison, ma mère elle est en prison, mon frère il est en prison, ma soeur elle est en prison. Vas-y, travaille, fais comme tout le monde. Putain, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont tous aujourd'hui? C'est le carnaval, là, wesh.
Up next is rugged individualism. Now, rugged individualism is the idea that one individual in a society could set it out on their own and complete a usually or normally or probably impossible task for their own benefit.
Il faut que je parte. Il faut que je parte d'ici.
Mais oui. Tu vas à l'épicerie en route, ramène-moi une salle.
In other words, one person in a society can do everything by themselves and achieve great success. Rugged individualism is often associated with the American dream. This idea separates the collective to the individual in that you can do everything by yourself without help or concern for others. Finally, there's consumerism. This is the ideology of material possession. This type takes root in American culture as well, given our material nature. Consumerism proposes that certain material things will aid in class upgrade or perception. In other words, if you purchase the correct items at the right times, you must be a high-class individual, keeping up with the newest trends to maintain that upper-class status that can be seen in many film texts. This type of Marxism may be most frequent in American cinema.
Merci, Charles.
So what is it about Lahaine that does such a good job of representing all of these different types of Marxism within its own film? Is it the fact that it's timeless? All of the references being made in 1995 are recurring or happening again in a mirror 2023? Or is it that all of the representations are so tastefully and masterfully done? Either way, whether it's the reoccurring riots, clashing with police, problems with the working class, Lahaine presents a mirror. Marxist theory deals with representations, whether they're a mirror to reality, an ideal for the future, or a presentation of the present. These films matter. These themes matter. And that's what Lahaine does so perfectly. Thank you.
C'est l'histoire d'une société qui tombe et qui, au fur et à mesure de sa chute, se répète sans cesse pour se rassurer. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. Jusqu'ici, tout va bien. L'important, c'est pas la chute. C'est l'atterrissage.